A trivia fact that some people like to share is that the lighter is technically older than the matches. The caveat is that it depends on what you consider matches and what you consider a lighter. What is considered the very first lighter, though, actually comes from firearm technology, as basically most forms of the guns are a tube and a lighter. In our evolution of gunpowder series, we've seen the evolution of weapons have taken from going from small firecracker-like devices to full-on projectile weapons. The first guns just used a touch hole or fuses, just apply the fire directly to the gunpowder inside. This is cumbersome to aim and do at the same time, and makes it very weather sensitive. And if your fire source goes out, you're out of luck. One of the next solutions was a pretty simple matchlock, where a slow burning cord is attached to a trigger that touches the touch hole when the trigger is pulled. These could be as simple as an S-shaped lever, to more advanced ones that were spring-loaded and would trigger quickly, often taking inspiration from crossbow triggers. A triggering device called the wheel lock was also invented and used at roughly the same time as both matchlock and flintlock guns. A wheel lock works by using a spring-loaded serrated steel wheel, which the trigger releases so that it spins rapidly and is then struck against a piece of iron pyrite, producing a shower of hot sparks. However, they're very complex and expensive device to make, and never saw too widespread of use. We're likely going to revisit this design and try and build our own later, as there's an argument this is one of Da Vinci's actual inventions. But for now, let's move to the simplified version that was designed to replace it, much cheaper, the flintlock. The flintlock arose in the 16th century, offering a quick way to light your gunpowder at the pole of a trigger, without having to keep a lit match nearby or anything. Its design is both simple, but also surprisingly complex. The flintlock replaced the burning match with a spring-driven striking action, letting a shooter fire by a simple pull of the trigger. A piece of flint is clamped in the jaws of the hammer and is held back under a strong main spring. When the trigger releases the hammer, the flint slashes down against the steel plate called the frizzen, creating a shower of sparks. The frizzen itself is a clever two-in-one part. It provides the striking surface and also covers the priming pan. As the flint scrapes the frizzen flips open and those sparks fall into the pan, igniting the priming powder. The flame then travels through the touch hole and ignites the main charge in the barrel. A typical flintlock uses springs for the hammer, the frizzen, and the locking parts. This arrangement lets the mechanism be safe, quick to reset, and reliably timed. This trigger mechanism was so effective at providing a ton of sparks, people would often use their gun to light fires. And eventually special devices with this mechanism were built, and are what could be considered the actual first real lighter. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. When you go online, your personal details are out there for anyone snooping around. Your IP, your ISP, your status, all exposed and unprotected. That's why I use NordVPN. NordVPN's menu is to make the internet safer, freer, and simply better. With one click, you can secure your connection and keep hackers, trackers, and scammers out of your business. But NordVPN isn't just another VPN, it goes further with Threat Protection Pro. This feature blocks dangerous ads, scans your downloads for malware, and even warns you if you're about to fall for a fake online store. I can't tell you how many times I've seen limited time deals that were really just scams waiting to take your money. Regular VPNs don't protect against that, but NordVPN does. It also stops phishing attempts, blocking suspicious websites before they can trick you into handing over your information. And with the Dark Web Monitor, NordVPN will let you know if your personal data ever shows up for sale on shady forums, even when you're offline. Get NordVPN now at nordvpn.com/htmevpn for an exclusive deal plus 4 extra months free. It's risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect yourself today. I tasked Theo with making this device, and it took him a good several weeks to get it up and working. And along the way, he accumulated a pile of broken springs and parts along the way. enough persistence, he finally got a working mechanism for me. We're actually going to be making a full gun that this trigger device is going to attach to for an upcoming project, but first I wanted to make this lighter. So now I need to figure out how to attach it to the stock and add the trigger mechanism to it. All right, so here we have our completed lighter. So after 3 failed castings, each getting a little bit better each time, I'm a little out of practice with investment casting, but I eventually just gave up and soldered some brass shape to the outside of this to give it the kind of front and the holder of our kindling. This is the first lighter, and kind of a nifty little guy. Basically have your straightforward flintlock mechanism here. You pull the trigger, it pushes it, releases it from the spring, strikes forward, makes spark here. So here in the pan, you can either have the black powder, give it a little bit of bang. You could also just use charred cloth right there, and that'll catch the ember and then hopefully ignite our little side canister here of tinder. Just with a click of a trigger, you should hopefully have fire. It's a very interesting technology, and it's amusing that they don't try to hide the fact that this is basically just a repurposed gun. The flintlock is an interesting technology because it combines something that is super old, like one of the first technologies we unlocked of hitting things with flint to produce sparks. Makes it a lot more complex because the mechanism for this to actually put spring pressure on it, have it locked, and then activated by trigger, and then reset so you can do it again, is surprisingly complex. For this, I basically forged just the trigger itself, and that was very frustrating and a lot of work and very difficult to do with such a small piece. You can tell why Theo really struggled with this, but it's really impressive that he was able to actually get this to work. I have a lot more respect for his blacksmithing skills, that he was actually able to pull this off. So this is kind of just the first step in the evolution of guns. Starting first with using this for a non-gun use that will hopefully not get demonetized. But our ultimate goal is to put this device onto an actual gun and go out and try and hunt something with it, and hopefully do that fairly soon. And then in terms of fire starting technologies, definitely going to continue kind of the evolution of kind of this lighter into more of the standard lighters that we know today, as well as matches, and trying to get into more modern matches in that regard as well. But now we have made both the earliest form of matches with sulfur matches, and now the earliest form of the lighter with the flintlock lighter. I'm gonna add this to my collection of things that kind of look like a gun but aren't actually. Did the camera flash device from a few years ago. It's actually more of a catapult, but it definitely looks gun shaped. And then we have the drinking vase that I made that is, as far as YouTube's concerned, not a gun. And now we can add this one. Thanks again for watching. Thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Without you, this wouldn't be possible.